A historic moment for our country, also a historic moment for historically black colleges and universities. Today, Senator Kamala Harris will become Vice President Harris, the first African-American or South Asian female vice president. The Howard University alumni will also be the first graduate of an HBCU. And Morehouse College has a first as well, as alumnus Reverend Raphael Warnock becomes Georgia's first black senator. Joining us this morning, the president of Howard University, Dr. Wayne Frederick, and Morehouse College president, Dr. David Thomas. Dr. Thomas, Dr. Frederick, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Kamala Harris, whose alma mater is Howard University. This must be some kind of feeling.
Oh, no, it certainly is. I mean, I've gotten to know Senator Harris very well, and I think there's some of the things here that I hope would really rise to the occasion on Wednesday. The gender, race, ethnicity, obviously are going to be talked about for a long while. The 49th vice president will be the first female and first person of color. And there's no doubt that that certainly represents a glass ceiling breaking moment. But what I hope we will see over the next 4 years in particular is that the intellect, the charisma, and the experience will help to break those pieces of glass into such small pieces that we won't be able to put them back together. And I think that's really what we should be focused on, because she represents an excellence that we would not have seen embodied in such a person in the previous 48 vice presidents. And I think that for the country does represent a new and a new dawning, as it were.
And Dr. Thomas, what will be your thoughts as she's being taking that oath of office? Do you think it'll be a lot different from when you watched Barack Obama take the oath of office?
I think so. And, I'm the proud father of a 30-year-old dynamic young black woman. And when I see Kamala Harris, I see the unlimited potential for my own daughter. And that makes a difference for me. And it says something about where we've come in terms of possibility for our country.
She is, of course, the sorority, AKA, but what we saw, which was founded at Howard University, but what we also saw were all Greeks came together to back her. On this campaign, there was no difference between Kappa Alpha Psi or Qs or Zetas. They were all one.
Well, one of the things I think is important as well, and sometimes when we talk about our historically black colleges and universities, it's difficult to encapsulate all of the richness of what exists on our campuses in any one statement. And I think the Divine Nine is another example. They have been devoted to service. They've been devoted to community activity. They've been devoted to turning out votes for many, many years. And I think what we got to see in this particular election is a culmination of their efforts, but they have been consistently doing this throughout time, throughout their existence. And I think as Founders Day, it's not lost to me that Founders Day just went by on January 15th, within a week, she will be inaugurated. And I think it is a moment for the Divine Nine to take a pause, take a deep breath, and really celebrate all of their activities.
Let's talk about Raphael Warnock and what his win means, because President Thomas, I think it goes beyond his win. I think it is more symbolic of MLK Jr., MLK Sr., Mayor Jackson, who years ago, who was a graduate of Morehouse, wanted to run for the Senate as well. I think it's more an ode to all of those men who came before. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think it marks another milestone in a journey that, quite frankly, began at Morehouse 153 years ago, of Morehouse men rising to provide leadership to our nation, and your connections are right on point. Maynard Jackson is a direct lineage to Raphael Warnock and to Dr. King. Raphael was pastor of Martin Luther King's church, the same church that Martin Luther King and his father were senior pastor of, and always preached what we call at Morehouse the Black social gospel, which is that it's not simply about saving souls, it's about shaping the context in which those souls live and can thrive, and that pulls individuals like Raphael and like Dr. King into the public square to make change. And Raphael Warnock is a direct projection of that lineage, and passing a new milestone. And at Morehouse, we like to say that the road to the White House runs through Morehouse, because every Democratic candidate came and visited Morehouse at least one time in this last election.
My father, Congressman Stokes, when he was alive, made it so that he could try to get federal government monies allocated to historically black colleges and universities. On Howard's campus, he certainly has the health sciences library there. At Morehouse, he worked closely with Lou Sullivan for the medical school. What are you looking for from the Biden administration as far as continuing to make sure that these schools thrive?
I think if the Biden administration is as serious about erasing racial inequities and also creating an America that is prosperous, you have to have an investment in the historically black colleges and universities. I think some of what you heard Dr. Thomas just articulate, these institutions have been producing not just leaders, and yes, the Kamala Harris's and Raphael Warnock's are going to make the front page, are going to be in kind of the limelight, as it were. But the reality is there are tens of thousands of alum from these institutions that are doing the work every single day in our communities, blocking and tackling to make our communities better. And so as we continue to invest there, as your father saw fit, to invest is important. That Louis Stokes Library, Health Sciences Library on my campus, is an integral part of what happens in America. Howard University sends more African Americans to medical school than any other institution in this country. And all of them study in that very library. So that is an investment that goes well beyond bricks and mortar. It goes to the health of this nation, and it goes to closing healthcare disparities. So that's an example. And I think if the Biden-Harris administration looks at that example, they will see the need to invest in our historically black colleges and universities.
As an alum of Howard, it's an honor to have both of you with us this morning. Dr. Wayne Frederick and Dr. David Thomas, we appreciate your time. I know that you'll have a whole host of emotions on this day of watching her become the 49th Vice President.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Be well. Thank you so much.